Thanks for joining us.
Talkline Network Radio, America's longest-running Jewish broadcast network, the voice of the Jewish community.
Welcome to the podcast. You are now tuned in to this episode of our podcast. Today, we are going to interview some of the greatest and most influential minds in our field. And now, please welcome your host.
You're listening to Talkline with Zev Brenner, America's premier Jewish broadcast on the air since 1981.
And we're back. We're speaking with Ken Abramowitz. He is the chairman of American Friends of Likud, general partner NGN Capital. His book is called The Multi-Front War, Defending America from Political Islam, China, Russia, Pandemics, and Racial Strife. And he's speaking to us from Florida. Welcome back. Good to speak with you again.
Yeah, great to be with you.
You know, Passover is fast coming. You know, it's the holiday of liberation. I know President Trump referred to Tariff Day as Liberation Day. Is there a connection?
It's strange you should ask that question.
I have 3 more to go.
There is a connection. By the way, there's many forms of freedom. But right today, President Trump is focused on economic freedom. And he would claim that we've become a colony of China and other low-cost manufacturing countries who have, to quote him, ripping us off by taking our jobs from us. Now, they are selling us low-priced products, but the cost of the low-priced products is that our workers have lost their jobs. In his press conference today, he cited the fact that 90,000 factories have closed and 5 million manufacturing jobs have been lost over the past 20 or so years. So we've lost some of our economic freedom, and tariffs, theoretically, will give us that economic freedom back.
Do you like tariffs, Ken? You think it's going to be good?
Well, it's an experiment. Bear something in mind. In the business world, we often do things. We try things, and if they don't work, you reverse them. If 25% is too high for tariffs, you can make it 20, 15, or 10. So I think it's a good starting point. It certainly gets the attention of other countries, and it can be used as a negotiating position to get other things that we might want. For example, control over immigration with Canada and Mexico. So there's other issues besides just economic issues involved.
I thought the president worked out immigration with Mexico and Canada. I thought they worked something out about a month or so ago.
Yes, but part of his negotiating position was to use tariffs and say, if you don't do this, I'm going to do that. And so we use tariffs as a negotiating ploy.
One good thing, though, is that there will not be any tariffs from any imports from Israel to the United States, or vice versa to Israel.
Yes, I thought Israel was very wise to unilaterally end tariffs to America. That's a good way to become friends with President Trump. And also, it's a good way to inject some competition into Israeli society and theoretically lead to lower prices on certain products. So I thought it's good for the Israeli consumer, and it's good politically also for Israel.
I didn't realize that there was tariffs between the United States and Israel. When did that change, that there isn't any more? Was that in the last couple of days?
Yes, just in the last day or two, Israel unilaterally announced that it's going to end all tariffs on products from America. So
interesting.
That was a creative. The Israeli government's not known for so many creative policy changes. I thought this was a good one.
Well, because I was concerned that the price of Israeli wines would maybe go up in America. Well, it wouldn't affect the Passover holiday because all the wines are already here. But it sounds like, it won't even affect it afterwards, which is good that there's no restraint. But from Europe, though, there could be a problem importing a lot of items that will now be much more expensive in the United States.
Right. but at least relative to America, Israel wants to make sure that the America relationship with Israel is great, great, great. And this is a way to accomplish that.
What's on deck for the holidays, Ken, for Passover?
Well, we're going with the family to Mexico, to Cancun area, and to a hotel that caters to Jewish clientele, and lots of seders going on simultaneously in their huge dining room. So that's the excitement there. But let me mention one more thing about freedom. We talked about economic freedom, but there's also cultural freedom. And countries that are our enemies have learned how to inject their false narratives into our school books, for example, and into Hollywood. And these would be countries like China and Russia, or Iran and Qatar. So since we're talking about freedom in the Seder and the relationship to today, I just would be remiss by just focusing on economic freedom and not also mentioning cultural freedom. We want American culture to be strong. We don't need the help of alien cultures diluting our wonderful culture.
Ken Abramowitz, want to thank you for joining here with us. Have a wonderful Passover. Since you're going to Mexico, hope that the plane fares don't go up significantly by the time you come back.
So I'm looking forward to it.
Looking forward, Ken Abramowitz, the American Friends Likud, and you can read his book on Amazon. Chag Kosher, so have a wonderful, wonderful Pesach.
Thank you very much. It's great to be with you at this auspicious time and today. And just as a final 15-second issue, everything that happened in the past is still going on today. So it's very refreshing to talk with you about being slaves in Egypt 3,500 years ago, and having still forms of slavery or economic slavery, cultural slavery today. So it's great to be with you. As
Are you
always.
saying that Donald Trump is Moshe? Is Moses?
Well, there's no one who can compete with Moshe Rabbeinu, but he's the closest he and Netanyahu are the closest we can do with normal human beings.
Anyway, thank you and have a wonderful holiday.
Thank you very much.
Ken Abramowitz here on the Talkline Network.
Thank you for tuning in to Talkline with Zev Brenner, America's premier Jewish broadcast, the pulse beat of the Jewish community.
For continuous Jewish programs, TalklineNetwork.com, or our 24-hour-a-day listen line at 641-741-0389. For past shows, you can find us on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, YouTube, Instagram, and all major podcast platforms, or jewishpodcast.org. Thanks for listening to the TalklineNetwork.com.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
I told you it would be a fun interview. It was funny though.